Good morning, everybody.
Hello. Good morning.
Yes, and we're somewhere different again because Ladies Wot Pod have gone on tour.
On tour?
Yeah. On tour.
Yeah,
we've gone on tour.
I'm a hell of a way on tour.
I was going to say, are you all right, Liz?
Out of your comfort zone, aren't you?
I'm frightened I'm going to fall off the edge.
Yes.
Cross the border.
Yes, you've gone to Cambridgeshire.
I have.
Yeah.
It's where it all happens.
Well, apparently so.
You're not quite on the edge of the fence, but you're not far off. Yeah.
No.
In fact, you get quite close to the Essex border.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, it's very south.
This
then.
is
very
south.
south,
Yeah, you come
yeah.
down south.
Yeah. Anyway, hello everybody. We said we had a very special guest, and actually we have two very special guests, and a third special guest who's off camera. Right. Because we said we'd do our review of the season. So here it is. And now the phone goes. Tell me it's your mother.
No, it's Dave.
So Liz's phone saga continues. You see, she's still wittering now.
So
Anyway,
busy,
you know.
aren't you?
I am.
So many people want you.
It's not my fault I'm popular. You know. These things happen.
So, but we said we would do a review of the season, and what a season it was.
Oh my goodness.
We couldn't think of two better people to join us, really.
Well, we're so honoured. We are like your biggest fans, aren't we?
I'm all of a jitter.
We're all of a jitter, not only because we're on camera, but
These people are real.
we're actually sitting next to the real Ladies Wot Pod.
Yes,
We're more excited about seeing you at the ground than we are about the players almost, aren't we?
You're hearing that, lads? You're hearing that?
Yeah. We saw Liz and Claire, didn't
we did.
say,
We did.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
sat next to Matt Coffee, didn't we?
So we're
Yes.
like biggest fans.
Yes. So we got two of our biggest fans on to review the season, and it was a bit of a season. Now you might notice. Do you want to introduce both of yourselves?
Yes.
Claire, do you want to
Oh
start?
yeah, I'm Claire. I'm one of Olivia's friends, and have known her son. Since
Don't say who
he
he
was
is yet.
little.
Yeah, no, not yet. Don't
Not
go too
yet.
soon.
No,
don't.
Oh, I mustn't say that at all. So you
No.
can
Not yet.
Not
Just
yet, no.
hold that thought.
And
He is a Saints player. Before
yeah.
we, yeah.
Yeah.
And
And you've been a Saints fan a long time, haven't
no,
you?
not that long.
Oh,
No,
thought you were.
no, not that long.
You two ladies know each other well.
Well, a rugby
No,
fan.
I've been a rugby fan for a long time.
Ah.
But we
Fell in love with
converted you.
Northampton when
Yeah.
When?
So,
this
Yes.
concerned player started
Yes.
Yeah.
running around.
Being concerned.
When did that happen? I don't remember the running around bit.
Slowly.
Slowly.
Yeah.
Lolloping.
Lolloping.
Over some
There's a
line or
clue,
other.
everybody.
There's a clue.
There's a
Lolloping
clue.
run.
Lolloping run.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hands on hips. That's another
And
clue.
so when? So okay, there is a clue there actually. Yeah. And
Yeah. I happen to be the mother of one.
your mother
Not
of
that
one.
I'm a show
And
off.
it,
I've had
Notice-
to bring my crib sheet because I don't know all of them. But I mean, they're all lovely boys, aren't they?
they are
They're
lovely boys.
lovely
Yes.
boys.
There's a
I
lot
just-
of them.
A lot of them. I'm still learning my homework on the names, but I can say that I am a true Saints fan now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you
I
and I
literally-
regularly converse before
we do,
a game.
We do.
Yeah.
I feel it now.
So if I go, he's there.
Yeah. Could you
that's
just
him.
tell me? Yeah.
Yeah. That's your son. Who is? You can
Shall I say it?
Yeah. Go on.
Shall I say it? Well, I think he's known as Colesy, which he'll absolutely hate me saying, but it's Alex Coles.
Alex
And
Bell.
he's going to be so embarrassed when he sees this.
He's
He loves it that I embarrass him. So, Alex, I'm embarrassing you probably about
Now,
the most you
Alex,
can be
we
embarrassed.
understand that you might have forgotten who she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understand communication is difficult.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
It's been
for
a
on
little
foreign
bit
clients.
sparse.
Bit
this
sparse,
last-
yes.
yeah.
So this is your mother.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who'd like to see your holiday snaps. Like
Dog's
to hear.
missing you as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we can't think of anybody. Perfect pair. Who,
Thank you.
So how many games did you manage last season? Oh, that's cruel. That's cruel.
That's cruel. Well, I managed all the home games.
All the home games.
Yeah.
Oh, you were sensible.
I didn't make any away ones. I'm sorry.
So you didn't get wet then?
No, didn't get wet.
Oh.
We left that to you. I'm only a fair weather supporter,
got
and it
very
depends on the quality of the coffee too.
So we will talk about the weather, I think, as part of
Especially
our.
the low point.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a lot of wet.
Hail.
And so we are going to talk about last season and our high points and low points. And we've got an awards ceremony, haven't we? Yeah.
Sound effects.
Sound effects. There you go. So Olivia would like it.
Actually, that sums up the awards.
Well, you know, we could always go with... We have an audience. When am I going to use this one?
I think that's a good one.
It is a
That
good one,
sums up.
isn't it?
I'm sure there's
Yes.
somewhere in our awards we can
We
use
can
that.
use that one. Yeah, absolutely.
In fact, I do know where we can use that.
And then we're going to talk about the start of this season. And we are going to talk about PRL. Liz is... hang in there.
Keep calm.
We are going to talk about...
Didn't start my day well. Did not start
We
my day
are
well.
going to talk about the announcement, yes, of the fixture list.
Who are the bloody champions? Who are the bloody champions?
I mean, do you think they looked at who won?
They looked who they wanted to win.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Well,
dear.
anyway, so let's go back all those months ago. So we started off the season, well, some of us did. I think I am the representative who started the season in Ealing. Did you go to Ealing?
No, I
Oh,
might have been in France.
oh, lightweight. Anyway, so weather played a part there.
I was not a lightweight. I was supporting our boys who were playing for England. In the World Cup. It's a
Oh yeah,
bit
you.
fair.
Oh yes, you were,
I was
weren't you? Yes,
hobnobbing, if you
you were
recall.
hobbling and nobbing. Well, some of us were watching the PRC,
Yeah, well, I wasn't.
Premiership Rugby Cup at Ealing. It wasn't a
What
high
a place to start.
Well, actually, I started the regular season at Ealing, and I finished the regular season at Ealing because Loughborough and Bedford played their final games of the season.
Full circle.
Full circle. It didn't improve over the
But
months.
did the weather get better?
It was a bit cooler, and that was all.
West London.
Yes, so we played the kids, and a few visiting players joined us as well. I think Sam Graham captained the team, but yes, so it wasn't an auspicious start. No, but the PRC I think gave a number of players a chance to
Yes.
make
I think so.
debuts, get out there, feel a crowd, because we also had Doncaster and Cambridge come to the Gardens, and
They
Bath.
loved that.
Yeah, Cambridge.
Cambridge loved it.
Oh, Cambridge loved it. Yes,
Yeah.
Cambridge absolutely adored it, and they were about to go through a really challenging season. So I think having a few high points, they were wandering around, looking around as if Christmas had come. But yes, so we'll skip past the PRC. And where did we start last season? Oh, were we at home?
No, we were
No,
away.
we
Of
were
course
away.
Why change?
What a change! And actually, we were at the same place we were the previous season. Sale.
Wow, that's
Sale.
so long ago, yeah.
Yes, Sale, who had narrowly lost the final the previous season. Yes, and it was one of those games where Douse had that we should have won look.
We
on
should
his-
have done though.
We should have
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should have done.
There's something about travelling all that way north, isn't it? I don't know.
Well, to that place.
Yes,
I don't know if you've been to the
I have.
not what's now called the Salford Community.
Oh yes,
It's one of
not
my-
the Bell End.
It's not called the Bell End Stadium.
It's
There
impossible
was the
to
AJ
get
Bell
to.
End, wasn't there? Which I always thought was strange. Yeah, it isn't. It's not exactly picturesque, is it?
No,
No.
you've set Claire off. Now. This is the way it's going to be now. We to bring the standards up.
Yes, so it was a game that, no, not great. And then we went back home, I think, and we played Bristol, which was my 500th game.
Was it really?
Yes.
500.
Yes, and I was awarded a cap, which I'm very proud of.
Oh, that's
There aren't
so
many
exciting.
women over the years. I think I know of one other who's received a cap. Rebecca, the team manager, got a cap as well.
Well deserved.
Thank you.
Thoroughly.
And yeah, I got a chance to look completely stupid in the way that the boys do when they get their caps. They are quite tight fitting.
Tiny,
Yes.
aren't
Yes.
They're not always a look, are they? Really?
Definitely not for me.
No.
No,
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 not many people can carry it off.
No,
to be
no,
fair.
and I can't clearly. And that was a game we lost as well,
And should have won.
and should have won. There's a theme here. But then we went to Newcastle. I mean, I may have skipped a few games, but then we went to Newcastle.
It was wet.
Oh,
And it
God.
was Sunday lunchtime.
Oh, it was.
No, it was Sunday
remember that
Oh,
mid-afternoon.
yeah.
It was heaving it down.
It was.
It was just chucking it down. And we won.
Yes.
We won. And it was like, at last. And then we started going on a bit of a roll.
We did.
And it was one of those seasons where we were just playing some fabulous stuff.
Yeah.
It was just a joy to watch and photograph. And generally, we all had a bit of a blast.
We did.
And the low points are so rare in the season.
Bristol.
Yeah, Bristol.
No, actually, I'm going to pick on the first one. Was Bristol at home, obviously, but then Welford Road away.
Oh, well.
Yeah. And Saints and Porters get to be put in the back row, don't they?
Saints Porters were all in the absolutely ridiculous far corner, as
Yeah.
far away from anything as possible. I don't like Welford Road. Poo corner, I find it sort of just very difficult to go to. We didn't go, but the particular rant, the referee.
Yeah, I did wonder when Carl would come up.
I've tried not to mention his name up until now, but yeah, low points.
Fremo scored that try.
Yes.
It would have turned the game. And, yes, I don't know what was going on through Mr. Dixon. But we'll hear more of Mr. Dixon later
Let's
on.
not give him the oxygen of publicity. Let's not.
No. But, yes, unfortunately, Carl played his part. But Saints did have one of their strange...
Very, very strange first half.
Where
they went and
Ferbs and Mitch seemed to be terrified of the ball.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of a strange one.
But it was did that not Mark Henry?
It was Henry Pollock's debut.
Debut.
And
Was
we'll be
his
talking...
debut?
That was his
Yeah,
debut.
debut,
Wow.
yes.
Because I remember when I wrote the bit for the supporters club, I was just, just remember, if you're criticising, this young man was 18 and has just made his Premiership debut in one of the fiercest rivalries known to man, and against one of the least pleasant men in English rugby.
But look where
Lisa.
it got him.
Yes.
Yeah.
It probably was just what he needed to
Oh,
give
yes.
him that impetus
Yes.
to
Oh,
go
I-
out there for the
I
World
don't
Cup.
think he
Yes,
needed any impetus
Henry
at all.
doesn't need any impetus.
No, Henry.
He's got it all by himself.
Oh,
has he?
Yes, I imagine they
They-
make sure there's no caffeine in his diet.
Give him the nice gentle chamomile tea.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
yes. The S&C guys have a special diet of
Yeah.
chamomile tea.
Lavender oil being flicked around. Anyway.
So, but then I think the next highlight, because we went on and we were doing stuff, was Glasgow,
Oh, in the rain again. More
Yes.
rain. That was a
and
very...
it was a highlight for two reasons. I don't think Alex played in that game, did he?
No, he didn't.
No. Where was he?
Well, I think the beginning of the season wasn't perhaps his best time because he'd come. Yeah, I think he was injured for a bit. Was that the one he went on for a few minutes and got a head injury? Is that,
Probably.
yeah.
Yes. Oh dear.
Yeah.
But the two locks that day were Lockett and Moon.
Yes.
So very young Tom Lockett, and it was also the team that featured 6 Toms.
Was
You
it
remember?
Yes, that was, yes. Yeah.
The hardest photograph I took all season when Tom Quar, who refused to be in the photo, which I thought was a bit, because that could have been the 7th, said, "Oh, Claire, can we get a photograph of all 6 Toms?" "Yeah, of course," I said chirpily. And then proceeded to spend the next half an hour herding butterflies. It was as fast as I got a
Platting
hold.
fog would have been easier, wouldn't it? Yeah.
But it was the wettest, one of the wettest. It wasn't the wettest, no, that's ahead of us.
Yes, it was very wet though.
But the Tom and Mooney were very upbeat because on the day of the game, so I'd done the team run, as they now call it, which was in a deluge, with my husband standing in the stands looking at me going, "Why are you out there?" And I was, whatever. And I was taking photographs of Robbie Smith, Little Trev, practicing the bagpipes. Wee Trev is his now, yes. Yeah. Practicing the bagpipes or imagining in the middle of a deluge. Yeah, that was very popular with the Saints media team. It featured in the programme several times. Anyway, it was a deluge. And so the two of them came off the warm-up and the next day and looked at me and said, "You know what, Claire, the weather's improved." Really? Where?
But that's Mooney always. He's always positive.
He's
isn't he?
always positive.
He's always upbeat, whatever the weather.
Whatever the weather, which was horrific.
It was horrific.
Yeah.
It was
Utterly horrific.
No, he doesn't let a bit of weather get in the way for him.
No, and he
does he?
didn't. No,
No.
he didn't. It was a fine Saints performance, and they ended up being the URC champions.
They did, and we ended a 2-year unbeaten at home record.
Yeah, a 2-year unbeaten at home record, and our own, we haven't won in 3 years.
Yes, in Europe.
In Europe.
We just gone for the crack as normal European, going
Let's
nowhere
enjoy
exciting,
going up there.
Let's just go to Glasgow. We went up on the train. We had excitement going on the train.
Oh.
And because we're cheapskates, we were getting a really early train from Milton Keynes, but going not quite first class, but in
the posh seats.
The posh seats. And then I got an email saying our train at stupid o'clock had been cancelled, but we could get the next train that we could. So I had to phone and say, look, we're pensioners. I don't fancy changing trains several times. No, that's fine. You can get the next through train, which would have been ruinously expensive. So we got on that. We still posh seats, and then we got refunded as well because our initial train had been cancelled. So that was a result.
It was a complete result.
Win-win. Yeah.
Goodness.
Well, yeah, no. So I basically sat and got wet, and of course the low point for me was that Mr. Courtney Laws scored his first try in Europe since forever, and I dropped my camera.
No.
Oh.
Did you miss it?
Missed it completely.
Oh, Claire.
And
The
it wasn't
moment.
right end of the pitch.
Right into the pitch, right in front of me. Picked the camera up. It was wet. Slipped out my hand.
Oh,
Courtney
my hand.
scores. Looks at me. Sorry, Course.
Is he still speaking to you?
Well, he doesn't speak much anyway.
I know,
so,
but smiling at you.
No, grimacing.
Grimacing,
Yes, grimacing. Yes, so that wasn't one of my better moments. And then in the second half, I ended up behind a flag,
Yeah.
so I couldn't really see anything.
You've had a few moments like that through the season, haven't
Yeah,
Mainly
you?
yeah.
How do you
European.
describe it?
Mainly European.
Yeah.
Yes,
They put you in
yes.
the wrong corner and
Oh, there was
bottom
all sorts of more of that shortly. So Glasgow was brilliant, and the Shoe Army song I think actually was one of my highlights
Oh.
because the guy that was doing the drugs testing has to keep an eye on the players. And the changing room, of course, was a cupboard. I think your dining room was bigger than the changing room.
Really?
Oh, it's just like, take it in turns to breathe, everybody. He said, "Oh, you've got a camera." I went, yes, I have. I'm just taking photographs. He said, "Well, no. I need to get out of your way." I said, "Well, you've got your job to do." No. He said, "As long as I'm here, you stand in front of me, and then I might have to do this, but then you can get the scene." I said, "Oh, that's very kind." So I got the photographs of the Shoe Army song, thanks to the man from the drug testing agency.
wow, that was a kind gesture.
It was a kind gesture. It was.
I love the Shoe Army song.
Yeah, so
Yes.
That's always a highlight for me.
It certainly
I love
is.
seeing
Yeah.
who leads it.
Yeah,
is always-
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much effort
And
they put in.
who's sort of half dressed or
Yeah,
not,
that's
or
the one.
Yes. They suddenly realised that there's several cameras.
Yes.
Sorry. Yes. So the Shoe Army song was very, very good, and I was very, very wet, and it took me about 2 days. But then, before we knew it, we were in London at Saracens.
Oh, yes. Yeah. We're still scarred, many of us, by memories of Saracens.
Did they welcome you?
Well, it was the coldest day of the year.
Was it really?
It was
Oh,
bitterly cold, and my memory of it was that they just expected to win, being Saracens, and we had other ideas.
Yeah, we didn't go to that one.
You didn't go to that one.
No.
That's probably why. Yes, I was blue by the end of
Yes,
it,
watched it on the telly.
and Mitch did his. I'm going to.
Mitch, I don't know where I'm going, so you have no chance of tapping me. Move, which I think is exceptionally good.
Yes.
Works.
it works well.
Works
Yes.
at every level. Yeah.
And the Shoe Army song, that particular, was very loud and very raucous. And of course, singing in Saracens and the Saints has a bit of history.
Yes.
So it was sung with a bit of relish. I remember it was Manny who was leading it. But yes, so that was a brilliant victory. I think we began to believe with that win in
Do you think
London.
that was the turning point?
I think certainly for the supporters, I think the players were just loving it anyway.
Yeah.
They were realising the process, and we learned to. Liz and I were yet to learn, but they obviously did know the shape of
the
their
D.
D.
Yeah.
We were starting to see the effect of Lee Radford.
Yeah.
Because it was that game before half time when Saracens were attacking, where in the past
Yes, we'd have
capitulated, but we didn't, and they just looked completely bewildered.
Totally flummoxed because they were used to then, we'll find the soft underbelly and just keep running through, and there was no soft underbelly there. Our belly had been reinforced by the man from Hull, and that's,
Yeah, the man from Hull was certainly having an effect. And then before we knew it, it was Christmas. I don't even remember who did we play at Christmas.
We did.
Yeah.
We played Gloucester just before Christmas, went down to Gloucester.
Oh yes, that was another game where we were starting the routine of let's go behind,
Yes,
and then we'll just come storming back.
yes.
That's right.
They like playing that game, don't they?
Yeah.
They do. It doesn't
Yeah,
do much for your heart
no,
rate.
It's
No,
terrible,
no.
isn't it?
At all.
Half time, you're like,
That's because that's when the blood pressure machine
Yeah.
started making
I remember. Yeah.
keeping us on our toes.
Yeah.
Keeping us on our
Oh,
toes.
yes.
Yes.
Who did we play between Christmas and New Year
Was
at
it
home?
too long?
There was
Oh
a
yes,
New Year.
we've forgotten the other
We've
too
gone
long.
Too long.
Where Tommy Lockett scoring, obviously,
in the last-
in the corner, and then we started with the routine. You're absolutely right. The routine with the zebra, the cuddly zebras,
Yeah.
of which we managed to win 6 in the end.
Curtis has the room. The zebra has his own room.
Yes, Pikelet.
Pikelet.
Yes. Yes. So Fremo won the first one. Well, he stuffed it.
Yes, I know.
No,
that
no.
zebra is
Yeah.
traumatised, I think. That's
Yes.
zebra.
Yes. Well, he nearly no.
Moving on.
Moving on swiftly. Who won the second one? Who won the too long one? Well, it should have been Tommy Lockett just for scoring the try, but it wasn't. It was somebody else.
Was that
Was it
Curtis?
Courtney?
It might have been Courtney. Yeah, you could be right. It might have been Courtney. But I like the fact that the medals that they were given for player of the match
Medallions from the 1970s.
Well,
disco
a 70s
era.
disco leftover.
Oh, fabulous.
But they came in a fabulous wooden box,
Yeah.
which Lizzie Goodchild or Liz Tyler usually ended up with. A massive, great box. And then the cuddly zebra. Yeah.
And where do you put them all?
Well, quiet. Lizzie's twitching. Yes, so, the 21-year-old Tommy Lockett was having a barnstorming time. Barnstorming time. So over Christmas we went to Gloucester, and Gloucester were having a funny old season, but we weren't optimistic, were we?
No.
No, and then we did the routine where we're going to go behind. And then we came storming back, where Mr. Dependable.
Yes. Oh, what a try that was.
You know who Mr. Dependable is?
Tom Litchfield.
Tom Litchfield.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The man who's played more positions in the team. Right, that's over the page.
Which one is he?
He's over the
yeah.
page.
Okay,
Right.
let me just check his weight. Yeah. Oh, there he is. Yeah.
It's getting
Can
a bit
I just
obsessive.
say, Matt Litchfield, your jokes are absolutely dreadful.
Yes.
They're even worse than the IT department jokes, and that is going, son.
So, for our dear listeners, Matt Litchfield, father of the lovely Mr. Dependable, Tom Litchfield, Matt does the worst line in dad jokes.
They're just
I don't know
awful.
whether he finds old crackers from 40 years ago.
Yeah. But yeah. Just say,
They are shocking.
don't follow him on Facebook unless you want your eyes to roll so far back that they may never reappear again.
Seriously, Anna, what do you do?
Yeah.
Anyway, yes.
I see why she runs now.
Away from the jokes. Yes. So, anyway.
So yes, that triangle to brings it back to the rugby. That try that he scored, finished, did everything against Gloucester.
With the lovely Mr. Mitchell.
Oh, yeah.
Northampton Saints doing Northampton Saints things,
Yeah.
said Johnny Hammond.
Yeah.
And we all agreed.
Yeah.
And we bounced into Christmas having won.
Yeah.
It was a great way to bounce into Christmas.
It was.
It was.
Really.
Absolutely
Yeah.
superb.
Yes.
Superb display.
Yes, and it was the first time that the lads attempted to do something that Vesti got cross with them.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yes, I'm going to spill the beans
Spill
here.
the beans.
Spill the beans. They wanted to have a squad photo in the changing room.
Ah, yes.
So I was asked to take a squad
Yes.
photo in the changing room, which of course I did. And then I got the word, Claire, it's embargoed. I was like, what?
Why?
Because, as Vesti said, you haven't won anything yet. You only take that photo when you've won.
So it's never seen the light of day.
Well, no, Rory, Hutch being Hutch, he put it out on his Instagram.
The whole world's seen it now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
is that
A thing.
thing then?
Apparently so.
Is it a rule,
It's not-
or is
it's
it
an unwritten
a
rule.
superstition?
It's a superstition
It's
thing.
Vesti being Vesti,
Yeah.
superstitious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's like not touching the cup
Ah.
in your colours until
Yeah.
you win it.
right.
Sort of thing.
We're learning all sorts of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Oh, the Exeter mascots in the doghouse.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So when they played Saracens the first time round, the Exeter, they used to have the cup, you know, when they walk into the stadium
Yeah.
through the gate 3, the Lion Gate or whatever it's called. They used to have the cup there, and the Exeter mascot was touching it, and all the photographers went, "No, you can't do that."
Is it the real cup all the time?
Yes,
Is
and there
it?
are several of them, but
Oh, right.
yes.
So they north and south.
No, there's only ever one at the game, and so
Really?
and they lost.
Oh.
Wow. Now that was a
So
match.
don't touch the cup.
Don't touch a cup.
Don't
Yeah.
touch the cup.
Moral
Don't
of the story.
Don't,
So
don't
it's
touch the
certainly
cup.
not if you're in your colours. If you're in team colours,
Oh,
you're
right,
not.
do not.
And of
Okay.
course, the
Right.
Exeter mascot, old one,
Yeah.
Oh. Did you
not
get
the one with the
booted out?
strange pointy hat that they've got now, but
Yeah.
was with his tomahawk. Was yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway, so
talking of Exeter,
talking of Exeter, where did we end up next?
well, we must have had a home game between Christmas and New
Yeah.
Year, but I can't for the life of me remember who it was.
But we
Should
won
have
it
got our-
We won
because
it.
we went on our roll.
We were on our roll, yeah.
And-
Was it?
Oh,
Is
That
it
was,
not in
that
there?
was when George Fairbank was
Yeah, if we got the.
his 10.
You might need to edit this bit so we look.
oh
like-
no! This is all part of the fun.
Oh, where are we?
We're at home to Sale Sharks.
Say.
Oh,
yes.
where we all nodded off. We all nodded off in the first half.
And
Oh no, the ball's gone into.
But then we decided to do Northampton things in the second half.
Yeah, we woke up. Yeah.
and won,
Oh.
and that was where a certain friend of ours and myself became minions when we saw Nobby West walking towards us. Well, she was trying to be the polite minion, and I was just being the falling around minion in the back.
Anyway, we won that one.
We did
Oh,
win
that was
one,
exciting,
yes.
wasn't
I
it? It
forgot
was,
that
it
was
was,
that.
yes.
Yeah, no, that was a very important win.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then we went to Exeter.
Oh, yes.
yes.
That was January, wasn't it?
It certainly
Yeah.
was, and I've got used to
Well
going to
done.
Exeter in
I'm
January.
reading it.
Yeah, that's when we went to Exeter, yeah.
This is etched
So
in the memory.
it
This one.
certainly is. So
How
I
ridiculous!
ended up yes. So I ended up with Dr. Jones about 20 minutes since the first half, texting me saying, "If we continue like this, we're going to get mullered." Bear in mind, ladies and gentlemen, we were 24-0 down.
Wow.
Yes.
I remember.
I was
24-0
in my
down.
sewing room trying to pretend it wasn't happening.
And
Thinking
poor
I
old
might start watching
Callum
Documents.
Brayley had
Yes.
been, I felt really sorry for him, basically been drafted in as something like fourth choice scrum half. Hadn't played much at all. But fortunately grew into the game, I
He
thought.
did.
He
He
grew
did.
into
Yes,
the
he
game.
did.
But yeah, it was not good.
That's
It was
right.
not good. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, George, Mr. Dependable, it all started to click.
It started to click, and we just went. It was just champagne rugby from both
It was,
sides.
wasn't it?
And
Thereafter,
then to the final whistle.
yes.
Hell of a game that was.
It was, and that's when we did our first sort of emergency pod, wasn't it? Because we decided on the Sunday we couldn't wait.
Yes,
We,
we went pod early.
We went pod early and we just
because we
basically
were so
gibbered for
excited.
about...
You're
yes.
very excited, I remember that.
Yeah, overexcited,
Yeah.
one might
Yeah.
say.
Does
Yes,
happen.
Well, it was pretty exciting, wasn't it?
it was.
It was worth getting excited.
And the Shoe Army song was very good.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was a
Very,
good one.
very, very good
Who
one.
led that one? Can you remember?
No.
No.
But I
Come on
do
with his
remember
top
that
off.
Mr. Dowson was quite rude in the changing room.
Was it Hutch? Because he'd
Well, Hutch
celebrated somebody scoring a try too soon and then scored a try
and would have been killed if he hadn't actually got the ball down. I think Dingers would have, garroted him there and then if he hadn't got the ball down. But he got the ball down in front of me, so I was happy.
Yeah.
And that was the match where I was the only photographer at the right end of the ground. Everybody else, hello guys, we're at the opposite end of the ground.
That must have been a special moment for you, Claire.
It was, knowing that every photograph in the national press would have been of the wrong half.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a very special game. And we really began to believe then, didn't we?
We were starting to get very excited at that point.
Almost overexcited.
Yeah.
From time to time.
Then we played Bayonne, I think.
Oh, we did.
Yes.
We did. They just
that was...
foul at that point.
And then we went to Munster, or rather some of us did.
Yeah,
Oh.
some of us didn't go because we'd been the year before. And I was going to come, but then the prices had gone through the roof, so I bailed on that.
And then we all got soaked.
Yeah, and Curtis got a red.
Was that the most soaking you got?
Yeah, I think so. It when the rain is coming at you horizontal.
It
Then-
only comes horizontal in Limerick, though.
Second half.
The rain never comes straight. I'm convinced that there's special rain in Limerick that only comes at you, even at my height, comes at you in your face.
I
It
just...
doesn't matter which way you're facing.
There were so
it's in
many
your
things
face.
about that game I particularly enjoyed. I mean, Sarah Elgin, who I have a great deal of time for. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to be around the dinner table with her and Simon Easterby discussing a game. But I looked round and there she was hiding under a camera.
She's even smaller than
She's
you.
even smaller than
She's
you.
even smaller than
But
you.
she decided that, because she just gets left out by the pitch.
Oh.
So in order to try and protect herself, she actually was underneath the camera.
Because they have protection over the top of them.
Yes, yeah. More of that shortly. And in the end, she just gave up. It was just horrific. And she had, I think she'd been in Connaught the night before.
Yes,
So,
she had.
yeah.
Yeah.
So she'd had enough of weather
So she's
in
very
Ireland.
windswept.
But you do get weather in Ireland, don't you?
Oh yes,
That's part of
yeah,
the
and
nice.
Certainly on that
Thomond Park
coast.
does weather like
Yeah.
nobody. Yeah. So and Curtis, bless him.
Oh, poor Curtis. Yeah.
Yes, poor Curtis. But poor Curtis. But how we came back again
Yeah.
to win that at Thomond Park was, well, extraordinary. And showed a degree. I mean, I think that was when Finn Smith started to show.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Well, he'd been showing glimpses of it, but that was the game where really...
I bet it's when Brian O'Driscoll said, if you want a man to run an international level game between Finn Smith and Marcus Smith, Finn Smith is your man, because he just pulled all the strings so well. Such maturity. It was
Extraordinary,
just
isn't
phenomenal.
it?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And Sergeant Wilson was still on his winning run.
He was.
Yeah. Was that he did 10 in a row, didn't
So
he?
he's never lost.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
he was then injured.
that's a
wasn't he, before?
statistic, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
never
love
lost
that.
as captain.
That's
He probably
incredible.
doesn't want to be captain next season. No, I'm done here. Thank you.
Well, we don't know, do we? That's ahead of us. That's
No.
ahead of us. But I'll be
Exciting.
surprised. But anyway, not that I have any inside track at all. Maybe it's Alex. Oh,
I think well, I can't comment on that.
She
I?
can't comment.
No,
Oh,
no.
that's good. That's good.
Loyal man, my captain.
Loyal. Notice.
Loyal.
Loyal.
And she also
Loyal.
has no inside track because
No.
she hasn't spoken to
No,
him.
because he's not told me
years.
anything. So I don't have a
Loyal
clue.
and doesn't have a clue.
Loyal.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Sums
So
me
don't
up.
tell your mother anything.
Yeah.
So so we get back. So I didn't get back from Limerick until a day later because storm whatever
you
hit. So I got trapped.
There were some interesting trips.
Oh,
back.
yeah.
Yes.
Poor old Hutch went back to Edinburgh via Dusseldorf or somewhere.
Yes, and missed the start of his Scotland camp.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Elliot Millar Mills, who didn't even know he was in the Scotland camp,
Got
got
there
there before him. So there you go. But then we kept going. Again, we just kept winning, and it was extraordinary. And then,
were you surprised, or were you like, they've got this? I know this is going to happen.
I was, yes, I was much. I don't make, as Liz knows, I don't make predictions, but you could see that they trusted each other. That was the difference. You didn't have people going off and doing their own thing. They just trusted each other to do what they needed to do, and
as Ding has said, they started to enjoy defending as much as they enjoyed attacking. And that to me was the singular difference is the fact that our defence it's one of the best in the league now, and it's just tweaking here and there and giving them the processes in defence that they had in attack that they didn't have in defence before.
And both bits coming together.
Felt like together.
You can rely on it, can't you? When the ball gets to the wrong end, I'm not as nervous
as you used to be.
You're not reaching for the.
You're watching how it's all
the heart monitor.
The alcohol. There's still moments when you think I need a gin drip, but mainly you're actually going no.
That'll work. Oh look,
Yeah.
And you felt that they had confidence that they got it,
Yes.
which for me felt not really known, but you could just see the difference
feel
in their.
They weren't looking at each other as if they were strangers in defence anymore.
Who are you? Have we met?
Do come through. Please don't let me bother
The
you.
trial line's that way, behind me.
Just drop through if you don't mind.
Are you rerunning La Rochelle again?
I am. Does it show?
A low point
in my whole career.
being a Saints supporter. Yes. So yes, and then we had this sort of strange bit where the England boys all headed off to be England boys, and we ended up with a team who for Newcastle, which was an interesting combination of players. We saw Charlie Savala.
Oh yes.
For the first time properly, and he looks a quality player.
He does.
So it'd be interesting to see more of Charlie this season. And we laid waste to them, basically. It was just a case of, we might have changed 6 or 7 players. Don't care.
We're on a roll.
We're on a roll.
Yeah.
And off we went. And then we all had to do without rugby at club level.
Ridiculously long 7
For about
a first?
That is a first. I've never known a breakdown.
Never broken.
And it'll happen again this season in a slightly different way because we've got the PRC, but there will be. I don't think
Do you
they'll
think
have
they lose momentum though? Because
We
of
did.
that?
Oh, we
we
did and we didn't. It was very weird because we went to Bristol.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was the first one, wasn't it? After
That was the first
But-
loss.
Yes.
Some inside track on this. I can't remember which one it is. One of the lads
You're well in there.
who knew the Bristol boys. I can't. Oh yeah, I think I do know who told me actually. But anyway, they said that all Bristol were concerned about. They were just concerned about beating Saints in that first game back, whereas we were looking long term.
The longer picture.
We're looking playing the long game. So that's why that was all their processes have been about beating us and nobody else. It was just driven to beat us on that Friday night,
That's interesting.
which is an interesting one. There were also some very weird refereeing decisions.
There were.
Yes,
And there was
Central
rain.
Milton Keynes, I seem to
It
recall.
was, yeah.
Yes.
Well, even the Bristol,
Craig Maxwell Keys, for those of
Yeah.
you who don't know who Central
even the
Milton Keynes
Bristol
is.
supporters around us were going, "How did we get away with that?" I don't know. I really don't know.
Anyway,
Maybe
all I
it's
know
the
is I
rain,
had
maybe.
a
Maybe.
very grumpy Dr. T in the car.
Really.
Yeah, he was.
And it's
not-
a long way back from
It's
Bristol,
a
isn't
very
it?
long way back, and we
Yeah.
didn't stay down there. We drove home.
Mm.
It was not a happy camper. But then we just got back on the horse,
Got back on the horse.
and off we went again.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference I've seen
Mm.
in the last few seasons, is when we've been knocked down. This time they said, right, we're just getting back up
It's
and off we go.
They've used the hurt to push themselves forward,
Yeah.
rather than it going into themselves. And have had a conversation with Mitch about that, and various other people over the time. And it is really they've not done stiff upper lip. They've analysed what's gone on, and they've come together and used that pain of losing to push
For the
forward.
next game.
And
Yeah.
Dublin particularly, they spent the day that night and the day in Dublin together, and again that's a big difference. Whereas when we've been coming back from European games, when the club's been coming back that night, So they've not had the chance to process what's happening together. Whereas this time they have, win or lose, they've processed it together, and that's made them stronger. And I think however much it cost to put them up in a hotel for the night has just proved
it's been worth it.
Well worth it.
Yeah.
Well worth it.
Yeah.
So Europe, we continued, and of course we qualified for a home final round of 16, whatever it was. And we thought, you know what, we like playing Munster.
We love playing Munster.
Let's play Munster again.
We're finger with Munster at the moment again, aren't we?
So
We are.
half of Limerick bought tickets. That was the other thing.
They are good, aren't they?
It wasn't. So those of us who were there in 2009, they weren't as noisy. Everybody.
No,
Really?
Nowhere near. They were not the crowd of 2009.
They weren't in Limerick either.
No. They predicted their own demise in Limerick.
Yeah.
I sat in the pub with people going, you're a winner to Cantor. Like, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
They're I think, like so many teams when they're winning, and it will happen with Saints, we will have people jumping on the bandwagon and supporting Saints who don't get the whole rugby thing and can be quite footballish in their attitude and a bit not the most pleasant supporters, and Munster used to have them, and since they haven't been winning everything at a canter, then they've dropped off, and they thought the residue, the heartbeat, are back to lovely people. So
so the trip in Munster was great, and the fans that came over, they were
super.
absolutely
Amazing.
lovely. They're really
They
good.
really added to the atmosphere, didn't they?
It certainly does. It certainly does, and it's great that they have a travelling support in the way they do, because you don't get that from Leinster.
Was that our Friday night under the lights?
No, it was Sunday lunchtime.
It was
from memory.
wasn't it?
Sunday lunchtime.
So we'd finished Europe, and then there was the gap, and then there was some more Premiership,
And
and
then
then,
we were
the knockout, because we launched the Halos before before the Saracens home game. So we were haloing when the Munster lot came, so that was tremendous fun.
Oh yes, I've
In
got
gold.
In big gold.
Yes,
yeah.
he looks
In the
good in
park.
gold. Yes, Stocks Jones looks good in gold.
Yeah.
Yes.
Welcoming everyone.
Welcoming.
You've been lovely. I would like to say thank you for the halos, because it always lifts you as you come through the ground, so thank you.
Oh,
We love doing it. It's tremendous fun.
gives him something to do.
Yeah.
He just wants to be useful.
Ticks the dressing up box.
Yes.
So,
Done.
so the Saracens home game, was the highlight of that was Owen Farrell having a tantrum.
He did.
He went for it. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we enjoyed that.
They seemed so subdued, didn't they?
I think they knew what was coming.
Yeah.
I thought, is this really Saracens?
Yeah, they knew what was coming, and we delivered it. Yes, but I have to say the European run thereafter was great fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I didn't think we were going to win it. When you've got the power of Toulouse
Yeah.
and the squad size of Toulouse,
Absolutely.
even if we went on our best ever run,
Yeah.
Toulouse could just bring out yet more big guns.
Yet
Like,
another,
here's another
yet
team.
another international.
Let's just bring another team out.
Yeah.
But I think it taught the lads loads.
Oh, and don't you think it added to the whole season?
Oh yeah, I mean the Munster game and the Vodacom Bulls games were brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh,
Utterly brilliant.
brilliant.
And it was,
Brilliant.
and of course we went on a run of having full stadiums.
Yeah.
And the atmosphere and the
sound.
noise,
Yeah.
the sound,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Incredible. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
we were discussing that, just what a difference that felt.
Yeah, you could feel the buzz around the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, really, really good.
And everybody was engaged in looking rather than walking around with a plate of chips.
Yeah, and also you know when we got the ball, there's a sort of people leaning forward to see. There's an
expectation
expectation what's going to
that
happen.
something's
Yeah.
going to happen.
Yeah, you know George Hendy's second try against Munster.
Oh,
He shouldn't have scored.
He should not have, even with legs on back to front, upside down, inside out, still shouldn't have got. Simon Zeba is probably still sobbing quietly under his duvet at night for George Hendy. But then Simon Zeba, you should have been concentrating on the game, not playing up to the crowd.
Yes.
Might have done better.
It might have been your birthday, but really.
Yeah.
So we ended up at Croke Park.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tough one.
I felt the nerves from here.
Yeah.
It was so Croke Park is a fabulous stadium. It's a very tired stadium.
Isn't
Yes.
it?
Yeah, it's a very old
needs
stadium.
a bit of TLC.
It needs a lot of love. And Stuart Wilson, who is the groundsman there, of course, is a Saints supporter. So it was lovely that we could meet Stuart and his team. they're very precious about their turf. If we think Andy Miller's precious about his turf, Mr. Wilson and his team take it to a new and exciting level. Yes. And that was where I ended up, probably, I think, my worst experience as a photographer that's last season, because it was a bit of a stitch-up. The local photographers got all the best spots. And as club photographer, I'm supposed to get priority. Yeah, laughs.
You did have
Did they let you near the pitch?
You did have priority.
I could see it.
You did have priority. It was just very low.
Yes, somewhat lower than I was expecting. And I think the bit that I got most upset about, and I'm very careful when these things happen, is I wasn't allowed to move my position at the end of the game. So
I remember you talking about that.
And I couldn't take a photograph of the huddle, and I always take a photograph of the huddle, win or lose, because it's a record of what happened, and I couldn't. And I was really cross about it, but that's EPCR for you. But that was a game I think we learned some lessons.
Learned a lot.
And I think the next game that we learned loads, because we were still on a roll, was Harlequins.
Oh yeah. I learned never to go to Harlequins again. Dear, I learned how many times you could stand up and sit down in one game. That's what I learned.
So we'll come on to talk about this season's fixtures, but I think the high point of this season's coming fixtures is we're not in any of the big games.
Yeah,
because that big game stuff is utterly
contrived. Yeah. So contrived.
But also, it's disrespectful to the Saints, because we didn't even have our team read out over the tannoy.
Yeah.
They always do that, don't they? They go completely mad for Harlequins, don't they? Yeah. Fireworks, everything, and then it's almost like a whisper.
Yes.
Mentioning the team.
Well, but it was no reference to Saints at all.
No.
In
fact, there was a reference to Southampton at one point.
Big cheer for Southampton. Where?
Don't even play rugby.
They looked at the wrong bit of the map.
That made us feel really valued.
And then, of course, Liz's favourite referee decided to...
It was him, wasn't it?
So again, I think it served us well, because we got to know Twickenham.
Yeah, we did, actually.
We got to know Twickenham.
Yes.
Yes, we were in the away dressing room, which is smaller than the home dressing room, as you would expect. But I think we got to know the lie of the land, so that, a few weeks later, when we're back for that.
We had the dressing room.
Yeah, we had the home dressing room.
Yeah. Just made that bit of difference.
It did make, because you know what's coming.
Yeah.
You know what's coming. And to get a home semi-final with one game to go, it's pretty special.
Impressive now. With it's such a tight league now.
Yeah.
That was.
The trip to Bath we're not going to talk about.
No, it was not the end of the day.
No.
Well, I had a very lovely weekend. The weather was nice. It was quite jolly.
Yes.
Friend's birthday, went out for dinner, all that stuff. Really
I got a really good photography position, the classic shot with the, it never came to my
corner.
corner.
I was going to say, you weren't kept terribly busy, were you?
No, it's like, where are you?
You weren't troubled much.
They were sightseeing, weren't they?
But that was the funniest thing about that game, was the game was going on, but the last 10 minutes, nobody was watching the game, because Bath, depending what happened with Saracens, they were through with a home semi, and so everybody is just watching.
On their phone.
Everybody was just watching their phones.
Yes.
The Bath supporters as well, so that was tremendous.
So I walked onto the pitch at the end, and Lizzie Goodchild said, "Saracens at home," and I went, "Pardon?" What? Saracens at home?
I think there was a bigger cheer for the end of the Saracens game than there was for the end of our game, because everybody was, Bath had got a home game, we got Saracens at home, and that suited us fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rather get them at home in the semi than away in the final. So,
And I think that match against Saracens actually was where we really showed our steel.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That was the best game of the season. I think.
Yeah.
Crowds, the whole atmosphere, everything about it.
Everything just
came
very
together,
good.
didn't it?
And
I offered advice to Mr. Borthwick because he was there.
Did you?
I said, "Do you know where you're going? Can I help show you where to go?" Who are you?
And here's
your
first choice 15.
Yes.
Can I tell you who to play?
Yes.
No, I didn't. I was just like really nice. Like it could be his mum, because I'm probably old enough to be his mum. So he was just like, oh, nice little old lady greeting me.
Or not.
Little does he know. Oh, no, he might know, he might not.
Yeah, he might be.
Yeah.
You might be on his blacklist now.
I'm face bothered.
I'm already on the blacklist.
I've dealt with worse than that.
And then we were at Twickenham. So, did you enjoy Twickenham?
I don't know if enjoy is the word.
Yeah.
I could barely breathe. Actually, I was more excited than a new puppy, going round and round in circles, and more terrified and more nervous that I could barely look up, and I couldn't even speak. Really, It was. Yeah. So that's what I was like. And then there was the game going on as well, wasn't there? So
Apparently so.
yeah, it was a game happening.
There was
out
a
there.
game.
It was
happening.
I think actually it was
when you
one of our
said it was
worst
a game, I thought,
was one of our worst 80 minutes.
It
It was the most painful 80 minutes.
Mm.
I mean, the semi-final was. I held my breath, but that was exciting rugby. This was.
It was not exciting rugby from really anybody.
It was. Did you feel nervous?
No.
Didn't you?
So so there were obviously there were two club photographers. Paddy, who is the club photographer at Bath, and then there was me, and also Adam Gums was there as well, from Saints. And the manager of the Togs room, Tony, came over to me and said, "Can you talk to Paddy, Claire?" I said, "Why?" He said, "He's a nervous wreck." I said, "He's done more finals than..." So Paddy has not seen Bath win anything. He's been Bath's photographer for as long...
Not that long,
Perhaps
not
he
28 years or whatever
Perhaps he
it
shouldn't
is.
be doing the job. Perhaps
And
he's
the
a
poor
jinx.
love, he was just not a happy camper.
Oh.
No, he was very stressed. And I just said, "Look, Paddy, enjoy the day." I said, "I've seen Saints win finals. I've seen Saints lose finals. And enjoy the day." No. Not a chance. So I was very relaxed, probably too relaxed in a way, but because I was determined that I was just going to take in the scene.
Be in the moment.
Be in the moment
Yeah.
and not get super stressed by anything. So I didn't. I just went with the flow, and I never thought we would lose, and I didn't think we would win. I didn't think anything. I just went with what was going on. First half, my camera decided to have a moment, so I completely missed Tommy Freeman's try.
Did you?
Yeah. I've got
that
some
was a
fantastic.
beauty.
I've got some fantastic watercolours. If you want an impressionist version of Freeman's try, I'm your woman.
It probably would make a lovely watercolour. actually,
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
yeah, well,
That
I've got it.
flowing movement. 'cause
There was a
he
lot of
is-
flowing and not a lot of accuracy from me.
Right,
So I was a
beauty,
bit cross about that one. I thought, if that ends up being the try, that's a bit. But no, the man with his feet on the wrong way round didn't let me down. And made the wonderful break in the second half, and Mitch scored the try, at which I got perfectly. And then I experienced something I have never experienced in all the years that I've been taking photographs of Saints. I had a reserved spot for the trophy lift.
That's amazing.
Gosh, that's worth the 500 caps, isn't it?
It is worth the 500 caps. So I...
Did you have to lay down?
Oh, don't know.
Okay.
No, thank
Oh.
God. Now that was PRL's original idea, was that me and Dave Rogers, could you lie down on the ground, and then
No.
so that's why the trophy lift, the line is exactly in the middle, because I'm exactly in the middle.
Oh, they were fabulous photos.
And I
Still
really...
on my phone.
Oh,
Yeah, front of my phone.
excellent.
Just brilliant.
And the joy in in those photos is just fantastic.
Oh.
And the flames worked, and
Yeah.
it worked really well.
Magical, wasn't it?
It was absolutely magical. But the thing that I remember standing on the pitch thinking, I couldn't do this in 2014. I wasn't allowed on the pitch in 2014. Only 2 photographers were allowed on the pitch, and they were both agency. The club photographer was banned to the edges. So being able to stand on the hallowed turf, I just remember looking at my feet thinking, this is amazing. I'm in the middle of the
To
Twickenham
be
pitch.
there.
It was, it was
Smells
great.
front
fun.
different
line.
too, don't
Yeah.
you think? the turf. It's got a smell about it. Twickenham
Well,
turf.
it's plastic and grass, so it's a hybrid pitch, which is why it smells funny. Yes.
Oh,
I didn't know
didn't
that.
know that.
Yes,
Well,
it's what they
we've
call a
learned something
deso pitch.
Ah.
So, and then we ended up in the changing room. And of course we did the Shoe Army song and the strange goggles. And just to remind everybody, the reason they wear the goggles is because of... They called it champagne.
Yeah.
It's not.
Carver, isn't it?
It's...
I reckon.
And Toulouse did it, and so we had to do it. And they all looked hilariously funny.
They kept them on the whole weekend.
They
Some
did.
of them,
Well,
didn't
yes,
they?
yes.
I'm sure they went to bed if
George
they
Henry
went to
didn't
bed.
change, did
No,
he?
no, the whole weekend.
Claimed he'd had a shower, but I
Yeah.
don't believe that.
He had to
Just-
top on, didn't he?
Anyway,
Muddy
yes.
legs.
Yes.
Shower your lips.
Ooh.
Not to-
Yes, and then we had the bus, which
Yeah.
was great fun,
What fun. That was
the following day, and it was
And-
great.
And all of Northampton waiting,
Came
right?
out.
Yes.
Back at the...
Oh, Northampton
Well, I got
and
quite-
its environs, I think. It was...
Yeah, I got quite used to bus celebrations because I went to Boston only a couple of weeks later.
Yeah, but
and
you weren't on that bus,
I
though.
wasn't on that bus, but I have to say Boston won when it came to the number of people.
Well, to be fair, they do have an advantage.
Yes.
There were 1 million people
A million.
on the streets watching the
Oh,
Boston Celtics.
My goodness.
But I think our bus was better than their
Of course
bus.
it
The
was.
atmosphere, I mean, it was...
That's good. It was very, very good.
Very, very good.
And then we podded afterwards.
Then we
didn't
podded
Yeah.
afterwards,
We
yeah.
podded afterwards.
That was exciting.
So-
And I don't think I slept properly for days afterwards.
I still, even thinking about it, feel the excitement from that weekend. Just extraordinary.
And I was called a media star at that point. I was on. You couldn't turn on the radio.
Well, that was
Couldn't
it.
turn
Radio
on the
Northampton,
radio
we just
without hearing
occupied
me.
it.
It was every day I was on.
Yes. You know, as I say, I just push buttons.
Better than being on
She's the
Big Five.
talent.
Yes, very true.
So, all in all, a good season.
We couldn't be better, really. Well,
No, well, it could be one better, but maybe two better if we want to win the PRC.
oh,
but-
nobody wants that.
well, we have won it in the past.
We have,
But anyway, Gloucester, well done, Gloucester. So, on that note, I'm going to push... Shall I do this?
right.
That was our season.
Amazing. Just want
And
to say
now-
thank you.
The awards.
The award.
Nothing alive out there.
He's listening to every word.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Well done, off camera. So, we are going to do the awards based on this cast of gentlemen.
Yes.
Such a youthful looking.
Such a useful looking
Yes.
up.
It
For our youthful team.
highlights the irony of
Yes.
the youthful side we've had to win anything, and we are choosing
Well-
Dad's Army as a role
Well,
model.
because we decided
Yeah.
that we weren't going to do awards in this because they're all terribly serious, which are good. It's fine. Players player,
yeah,
Yeah.
coaches
yeah,
player,
coaches
yeah.
player,
supporters player,
cleaners
yeah,
player,
yeah.
yeah,
Nicest.
Favourite colour hair.
yeah.
You should have a red photo player.
A red hat photo player. Oh no!
No,
if I start
that'd be
thinking,
divisive.
that would be
Oh,
Well,
divisive.
asking who's your favourite child, that one.
No.
You could choose a different team member.
But it's why you notice, and we struggle with when we have to do player of the match that we weren't going to do that, but we struggle, and we always try and be very even-handed. You know,
Yes.
you all play terribly well, and
Yes,
we
you're all
really
lovely,
equally,
marvellous.
but, yeah.
And we
That's
never
very
pick the one that
bouncy, isn't
TNT
And we
picked.
try and go for something a little offbeat as well.
So yes, and it all started really at Exeter, didn't it, Liz? With this gentleman here. For those of you who are initiated, the man on the left is John Le Mesurier playing Sergeant Wilson.
Wilson.
So well, let's go back. Here we go. The Rolls Royce of software is not letting me down here. So Sergeant Wilson has an unbeaten run.
He does, and he's so terribly polite about it all.
Yes. Referees are happy to chat to him.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't, if it's not too much trouble, would you mind awfully reviewing that?
I think the moustaches
Yes.
leads him into
Yes.
this RAF.
Yeah.
sort of-
Yes.
He just
Not army,
he just
but-
puts his dazzling smile out there, and everyone's like, aren't they?
Of course.
Yeah.
Sergeant Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm looking forward to the first referee actually refers to him. Oh,
Then
actually,
he'll
we
be
need to...
truly famous. won't
Yeah,
he?
actually, who can we put up to it? Oh,
Luke.
Luke or Christoph.
Christoph, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to. We need
Yeah,
to
we,
sort.
we need to infiltrate the
Well,
rest.
yes, we
now.
need to do
That
that.
can be
Yes.
done. Ash.
Ash.
Ash. Put the word out.
Yeah. Sergeant Wilson. So that's where it came from. And then it was the end of season dinner that it really crystallised this idea. Because, and we're blaming you here.
I've just come along for a lovely evening, dressed up.
Yes,
sit
you
with
look
the
very
lads,
elegant. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Eat delicious food.
Yes.
Just revel in it.
I think you met your son that night.
I did.
didn't
He
you?
actually sat next to
Sitting
me.
at the same table,
We
weren't
were.
you? Were you introduced?
We were, but he was too busy being polite to everyone else to talk to me, and I got a bit excited one time, and I got told to calm down again, Mum. Only words he's spoken this season. Calm down, Mum. So anyway, he was very nice otherwise.
He did put up with having his photograph
He did.
taken. Small ginger woman.
He loved it. He loved it.
He's a good
Yeah, he
boy.
did. He did. I think he felt he'd made it. He'd made it because
I
he
think
got
that-
his photo with Claire and
Up
then
until
Liz.
that point, he was the only member of your family who hadn't had his photograph taken with me, to be fair.
Yeah, because we were so excited when we met you, weren't we? Like, I met you in person, Liz. Please can I have a photo? Yeah. You're
So
on
the
my
fandom-
digital wall.
The
Sorry.
fandom were happy. Right.
Yeah,
But at that point, we set you some homework, didn't we?
we did. And then I got really nervous.
And that's
because
where Claire and man off camera,
Andy,
came in to help you.
he did, because they actually know about rugby. I mean, I've just learned to kind of which direction we're playing and when
That's
it's
good.
a penalty.
That's
That's
Yeah.
good. There are many
And a
Saint
try.
supporters who still don't know that,
Yeah,
even when I
so
tell them.
I've got that far, but it was a little bit too far to go to Dad's army and play. So I got my friend Claire, because she's in the know, and she's married to Andy, who's really in the know.
Yeah.
And so he helped me out,
yeah,
didn't he?
Yeah.
So the idea is, ladies and gentlemen, that we are going to award the Ladies Wot Pod Awards based on the cast
And it was very
of this
difficult.
wonderful situation comedy based on the Home Guard Dad's Army.
Yeah.
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 I bet they
It was
can't
very
wait.
difficult because you've got the vision of the shape of the face or the age of the player
Mm-hmm.
and the position they hold in the army,
Oh!
faced with the same in the Saints squad.
Yeah.
So then I'm getting a problem with Andy saying, well, this person should be Pike because he is tall. And I went, actually,
Yeah, we got up.
no. You don't have him because he's tall or young. You have him because he is
Pike.
a bit Pike.
Yeah.
But don't tell him your name. That
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
Right, shall we
it all
start?
got in a
I think we have to start with Pike.
Let's start with Pike,
Oh,
because
start with
Go on
yeah,
then.
we'll start with Pike.
Played by
because-
Ian Lavender,
Oh,
for
yes.
those of you who...
And we are
We,
over.
do we agree?
No,
we
this
disagree.
is the one we disagree, and we're overriding it because it's our pod.
Okay.
But go on then, Claire. Go with who you
Go
want.
on. Well, it wasn't me, you see, it was him
Oh,
off
man
camera.
off camera.
So
Okay.
he said George Hendy, and that's because he's tall and lanky and
Oh,
young, you see. And I said, no.
no.
But he did say, darting anywhere, crashing into anyone, tall and lanky. Don't tell him your name, George.
Yeah, but
no.
But you didn't think
no,
that, did
no,
you?
we got Pike nailed from quite
Early on.
early on,
Okay.
and it, really, as have the Lizzies and the media team, because
Yes.
they did a whole programme where his name was every answer in the programme. But it took him till the end to realise his name was every answer in the programme, and that's Tommy Freeman, who is a lovely, lovely young man, but a bit of a space cadet. Let's
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, man off
yes.
camera. There you go. We go. He
There's
approves.
agreement. So
He approves.
We can cross off George then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Pike, don't tell him your name.
Yeah.
Award goes to Freemo
Yes.
Woo,
for not noticing
ding dong.
that he was the answer
Yeah.
to every question in the programme until the last one.
And we've got to have him in, because
Yeah,
He's
wasn't-
free,
he
mate.
wasn't
he's
in
free,
that
man.
one, wasn't
He's
he?
I
free,
mean,
man.
he is
Yeah, he is
class,
free,
So
man.
isn't he?
have we got clap?
Oh,
Drum
well,
roll,
of course.
claps.
I think we do need. Oh, hello.
Oh, yeah.
Our applause. So well done. Freemo. Very good. Very good. And moving on.
So do you
Next
want-
one.
Who was first? Oh, Captain Manwaring. Or Mannering.
Mannering.
Captain
Captain
Mannering.
Mannering.
Yes.
Well, we had down as Alex Mitchell.
Ooh.
Directing operations and manoeuvres.
Ooh.
Yes.
What do you think?
I think I can see a certain resemblance. Fortunately, Mitch has more success.
He's got more zebras than
Got
the
more
horses.
zebras.
Yeah.
Yes,
In the
and he hasn't
platoon.
got a wife called Elizabeth.
No.
Oh,
No.
He moves a bit faster too, doesn't he?
Yes.
yes.
Who would you?
Oh, and he also hasn't got a stomach, says the man off camera.
I don't know.
Yes.
I'm not sure actually, because the problem with Captain Mannering, he's very much all bluster, isn't he, and pompousness, and there isn't
that isn't-
anybody
no.
in the squad.
But it was
this
leadership
year
material,
who's like,
wasn't it?
there are some in the past that we could have certainly.
Yeah, we could have
nominated,
easily.
But I think.
So we'll do the positive, directing operations,
Yes.
Captain
Yeah,
Mannering.
yeah.
And of course,
And
in
senior,
the end, he's
and senior in the squad, of course, as he
Yes.
pointed out to
Yes.
me.
Yes.
He's very
Is he?
worried he's going to be so old with the ones who's left.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sue's
So
left,
well
yeah.
done, Mitch. You are the Captain
Oh,
Mannering
yeah.
Yeah.
of the team. So you know. Okay, right. Who's next?
So we had Hodges.
Hodges.
as-
I haven't. Oh, there he is. Hodges in the
Which is
background.
in the background.
Yeah, there he
This
is.
In the
This
background.
is again, it's a
This
bit
is
controversial because,
Okay.
Who have we given it to?
well,
Yeah,
yes,
whose homework was it?
because of course Hodges is trying to undermine the platoon at all times, really, isn't he?
So Owen Farrell then.
Yes.
yeah, actually,
We could say none of them.
I
None
think
of them
none of them
qualify
really
for that.
Yeah, no,
really.
No.
And he's not a very likeable character.
yeah.
No.
Owen Farrell.
Oh, in fact,
But because we were on Alex
Oh.
Coles' team, we had to say Alex Coles.
The man
because
off
we didn't
camera
want
is trying
put
to
him
say
in
something to
such
us.
a high regard,
Yeah.
you see. So we're having
I'm
to...
just about to say Carl Dixon.
Oh, very good. Yes, okay, yes,
Definitely,
Carl
yeah,
Let's
Dixon.
swap that.
Yeah.
Very good man off camera.
So,
Right.
Then the Verger,
Oh, I haven't got a picture of the Verger.
haven't you?
Is he not on?
No, he's not there.
Oh, he's
So the
not on.
Verger. Yeah, the Vicar's not there either.
No.
Oh, right.
No,
That's not
you
right,
see.
is it? I've
No.
picked the
No,
wrong
we
card
can't
there.
work, yeah.
So working with Hodges, he works with Hodges, doesn't he?
Yes.
Apparently.
Well, kind of. They sort of do, but by default, don't they? They find themselves. The Verger is more in with Hodges. The Vicar is just an innocent abroad who has no idea what is happening in life.
We're back in Fremo again. Well, if you want to be the Vicar.
So
Carrying
more
on the
Vicar
family
Diddley
tradition,
Alice.
you know.
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
So there you go, Vicar,
So I
Olivia.
think Mooney, the fact is buggered off to France now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's.
But he's good at infiltrating the enemy line out.
He is very good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
yeah.
point. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
like
I
that.
think Mooney can be have the Verger's award for.
Verger's one.
Yeah.
Olivia's the Vicar.
And then-
Yeah.
yeah.
Very good.
I'm going to really miss Mooney.
Well, there you are. Definitely,
Yeah.
You're missing your sidekick.
Yeah,
So,
I love Mooney. Yeah.
so
You'll just have to go visit the
I know,
pyramids.
I've told him I'm coming to
no,
France.
Oh.
we've said we're going to
Yeah,
go.
should we
as
do
well.
a
Excellent.
Ladies Wot Pod? All the
Okay.
way to. We've got a few places in France we can
have.
visit.
Yeah,
haven't we?
yeah. When
Okay.
we're going.
They'd love us turning up, wouldn't they?
Hello!
Switch it.
Mooney going, I thought I got rid of you lot.
Hello, remember us?
Who's next?
Jonesy.
Oh yeah, Curtis Langdon.
Oh.
yes.
Yeah.
Up it over the leading the troops over the hill. And he's so funny, isn't he? He's got
Don't panic!
No panic.
good
Don't
sense of
panic.
humour. Yes. Yeah. They don't
Yeah.
like it up 'em.
I think there is an element of don't panic to Curtis.
And they don't like it up 'em.
Yes. Yes. That's, I think probably.
Yeah.
You happy with that?
Yeah, we'll go with that
Yeah,
one.
go with
Yeah,
that one.
we'll go with that
Yeah,
one.
go
So
with that
well done.
Yes.
So Private
so
Walker
it's
over
very
here.
difficult to see who was the spiv.
Yes.
Lee Radford.
Yes. Very
Dodgy
true.
Deals Radford.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yes, he's very much into dealing.
Wheeling and Dealing Radford.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rad as
Yeah.
Walker. Yeah, there you go.
We'll give you that
Right.
one.
We'll give
Yeah.
him that one.
We'll give him that one. There you go.
Bit of swagger. I haven't seen
Definitely.
him walking.
Oh yes, he strides
he
across
does,
it.
definitely.
Yeah.
Cool
He doesn't hold his cigarette like this because
No,
I don't think he smokes. So, but yes,
Yeah.
if you remember,
Does he deal in lady stockings?
Give him a chance, probably.
shall I ask him next?
We're never going to be allowed to wear again, are we?
No.
Right.
Who's next?
So we've got Private
all.
Godfrey.
Godfrey.
Oh,
Yeah.
who? So all right.
Oh, we got down Alex Waller because he was the oldest of the group.
Well, I think we initially thought Courtney as well because he was excused some drills for being old. So I think they could jointly have
it. Yes.
For
So
maturity and just being able to just come on.
Yeah,
They just come on and all
all
of
right
it.
if I don't. And then, yeah.
fine,
Yeah.
whatever.
Perhaps he's good with wood.
Sorry.
Godfrey.
I don't know.
Do you think he was
I
good
think
with wood?
I'm not sure.
Didn't he have? He
Like
had
Alex.
sisters that were always guiding him doing stuff. Didn't
Yeah,
he?
the sisters, the Godfrey sisters. So
Yes.
I
Godfrey
was looking
sisters.
at the wider squad. So there were two privates who appear from time to Private Sponge and Private Cheeseman, who appear from time to time. And I thought Liz and Lizzie could get their awards because they appear from time to time and do stuff. That
Yes.
keep the story rattling
Can
along.
keep the story rattling along. Yes.
Then Colonel Pritchard and Captain Square, who try and set challenges for.
Oh yes, they were always making them go into the woods.
Yes,
and,
do
yes.
things.
Mhm.
So they've got to be the coaches
Yep.
as a whole.
Yep.
The Godfrey sisters, I actually thought could be us because they're quite old and one of them bakes.
Oh, well there you go.
Sorted. Probably knits their hats for the front line.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my sister Dolly and sister whatever the other one's called. So yeah, and that was it. And I think going into the realms of Mrs. Mannering, Mrs. Pike, and Mrs. Fox could be actionable. So it's probably best to leave.
No, we won't go there. But anyway,
was good.
Sergeant
Wasn't
Wilson,
it?
what have you done?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's the awards for. What a season.
Can we not give my friend Matt Ferguson an award?
What would you like to give
Well,
him?
just because he's so lovely. Love it when he comes on.
So,
There you go, folks. I think that's enough.
well, we have actually said that Ferg's
Coley Award.
the Coley Award,
Coley.
Yeah.
Colsey.
Colsey Award.
No, I don't think
no,
You can't have favourite. No.
No.
Plus the fact he's not a front rower.
No.
No.
No. But anyway.
So Fergs is an avid listener to the pod. So,
Is he?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, we know he's a regular listener, and he's already
Always a highlight for me when he comes on.
well. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yes, it's poetry.
It is.
It is
Emotion.
utter poetry.
As
As is
central, I think, the way he's trying not to be impolite, but trying to focus on what's going on and still answer questions. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
it's
he's
common
very
knowledge.
good.
Common
very
knowledge.
good. And he's already busy this season, like many of the coaches. So we'll give him the Olivia Coles
Would you?
Coaching Award.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Oh, wow.
That would make
Yes.
my day,
Right,
my
well,
year.
Well, I think
And just being with you, I mean, Claire and I,
We're beside ourselves.
we're over it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like being in the final again, isn't it, Claire?
I've
sitting
got
here?
my tenner pants on.
Yeah,
Have you?
you might have to edit that bit. Oh my God. Where is my reputation with the team now? You've just done it, Claire.
Oh, well, I don't think there's any coming back from this.
I bet we don't mention tenner pants. Tomorrow's Loughborough Lightning Media Day.
They don't need it.
Helen,
No,
tenner pants.
their core is better than my core.
Yeah.
Ah,
They're
dear.
probably not as excited to meet you.
They probably wonder who we are. Anyway, so
Thank you.
Yeah.
well, we haven't finished yet
Oh,
because we
we've got to
haven't
keep
let. Right, Liz, are you ready?
Oh, yes, right, okay.
Hold on.
I don't
Should
need
we
to be in the
go?
middle. No, you just stay there. So, the fixture list. What was my rant about fixture list last season? We
Yeah.
began and ended away.
Mm-hmm.
And I was reassured by my very good friend at the end. No, it'll probably be fine. We'll be fine next season. Oh, we're not fine. We're not. As Carl Dixon had some saying this. I blame him for everything. So we start away at Bath. How does that even work? We're the champions.
Yes.
We are the sodding champions. Why are we going away to Bath? And if they think I'm paying £100 for a ticket again for a Friday night, I think we're going abroad. Because we just did a quick back of a fag packet maths, and the cost of going to Bath for the weekend pays for one of us, I don't know which one, to go to Crete for a week. So that's...
You'll be in Crete on your sunbed. Because it'll be raining in Bath.
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely so unimpressed with that. And to finish that we're away again as the finish for the final game of the season, you're just having a giraffe, and I'm so unimpressed. And there will be, words will be spoken somewhere to whoever I can find to speak words at. Well, when I found them, oh my goodness me, they're going to be really glad they were born. Really glad they were born, whoever is responsible.
So for those of you
I will find you. I will find you. Because I've had enough. I've really had, you've pushed it.
So
now.
it does seem that the champions are getting short shrift here.
Yeah.
So we start away at Bath and we finish away at Gloucester. And somehow I feel that the word champion seems to be disassociated from the Saints. So it really is bizarre. The only upside is we're not doing any of the big game nonsense. We're not going to Cardiff. We're not going to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and we're not going to Twickenham for big game 30 million in the whatever spring whatever.
Whatever we can.
So that is the good news as far as I'm concerned. That we are at least.
Are you sure? They're not going to make it big springtime.
No, because we play Harlequins in January. I don't think it. I don't trust them not to shrub knees. We have got a lot of Friday night games.
We like those.
Yeah,
Oh, you like those, do you?
We do.
I feel sorry. Well, we do
Friday
well,
night lights,
but
don't
we don't. But during term time, it does reduce the number of children that get to go.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, so
and that's one of the lovely things about coming to Saints. I love it that it's all ages, toddlers running around, taking my in-laws. You know, it's just fab.
So that's the downside there. The upside is that Bedford Blues, from what I can see, are at home when we play on a Friday night.
Oh, excellent.
So we can get double bubble rugby those weekends.
That's good. Yeah.
So, as I said to Dr. Jones, sales of curry in Bedford are going to soar through the roof because we do like a curry.
We do like a curry
in Bedford. Yeah. So we'll be able to see the Academy lads and the Bedford boys run down the slope at Goldington Road.
Slope. Hill, mountain, call it what you will.
So I have actually done 3 training sessions in pre-season.
Good.
And last night was in Bedford Park, and they were running up some pretty...
Well, they've got to get fit.
I did say to Sherpa 2, I said, this is practice for the slope at Goldington Road, isn't it? But yeah.
I mean, it's not often that if there's a particularly height-challenged back... If you're at the pavilion end of Bedford, you can't see them. I've seen slopes, but not where the backs have to rope themselves together. I mean, it's ridiculous at Bedford.
But it's great fun.
It's tremendous fun.
It's tremendous fun, and the pitch at Goldington Road is looking stunning.
Is it?
Yeah, really, really good. So the groundsman has clearly been busy in the off season, and it's
well, given all the rain, the grass is
it is looking stunning.
And how did you think they were back at Franklin's Gardens in the pre-season? How are they looking?
Busy. As I said to Liz, the first training session I thought it reflected last season because less than 5 minutes in, a deluge happened. So
I thought you were going to say straight into business.
No messing. Curtis was looking confused.
So, straight in, and it was a lot of rain. And it was like, right, now you're all wet, I'll put the sun back on. So, Friday's very, very busy, very intense, very busy, great fun, kept me busy wandering around. And then, so I think they survived. I mean, Josh Kemeny, of course, is our new Australian back rower. Yeah. Very, very lovely man, came over and said hello. And I said, you survived week 1. And he went, I did.
So there's lots of new folks.
Lots of new players.
Isn't it?
And I haven't actually, as I was saying earlier, before we started recording, I haven't actually put anything out on social media because there seems to be 3 categories of player. Those that we definitely know in the squad, those that we definitely know aren't, but we're trialling, and then there's a sort of mid-ground where we're not sure, or rather the media team aren't sure. So until I'm absolutely certain what I can and what I can't put out, I'm not actually putting anything out yet. But of course none of the internationals were there because they're off outrageously having fun.
I know they're having a holiday.
How
Shouldn't be
awful.
allowed, should
I
it?
know.
Although Alex did say he felt really sad he wasn't doing pre-season as well.
Oh, I
So
don't think
he's
so.
already-
He won't be saying that. You know.
Well, I'm sure he did.
Of course, he won the Blackstone Challenge, didn't
He
he?
did. And not this year. He
No,
won
a
it
couple of
twice
seasons
in a
ago. It
row.
was Finn last
Twi-
twice.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't count the first one for reasons, because a certain Bedford Blues player beat him,
Oh.
Mr. Will Maisie, which I think is, but he did certainly win it the second time. So
He's
yes.
very proud of that.
I'm not
So he
surprised.
should be.
Yeah.
So he
That's an
should be. It's
incredible
a-
A
task.
good moment.
It's a good
Yeah.
moment. And so the Blackstone Challenge will be mid-August, and it should be interesting. Anyway, it's been lovely having you.
Yes.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah.
Do you have can I just ask if you have a top moment of last season?
Yeah, the trophy lift.
Trophy
Yeah.
lift. Obviously it has to be that.
Mm.
It was just utter joy. Yeah, always. It was just wonderful.
And to
Yeah,
see all those
trophy.
players,
Mm.
Courtney, Alex, just the
It was very
Was
emotional.
It was very
Amazing,
emotional.
wasn't
Ed
it?
Prowse trying to dance on the right.
Yeah.
That wasn't good.
No, that wasn't good. That was not nice. No, I think I started crying at the final whistle and just carried on for quite a while, really.
Anyway, that was the Ladies Wot Pod, episode 33.
Oh,
Yeah. Well
Thank
done,
you.
ladies.
thank you.
Bye.
thank you. Fabulous.